Welcome to Subject Soup. Have you ever wondered why vibrant cities like Mumbai and Delhi are shadowed by sprawling slums? Dive into the untold story of India's urban growth, where rapid development meets deep-rooted inequality. Why does India have so many slums? Hey there, curious minds. Today, we're tackling a big, messy, and incredibly important topic. Why does India have so many slums? The short answer? It's complicated. But stick around because we're going to break it down in a way that makes sense, keeps things real, and, fingers crossed, even a little fun. Let's dive in. Alright, first things first, India's cities are growing faster than anyone expected. Over the last 70 years, millions of people have migrated from villages to cities. Why? Jobs, dreams, opportunities, the usual suspects. But here's the kicker, cities weren't ready. Imagine hosting a dinner for 5 people, but 50 show up. That's urbanization in India. Affordable housing hasn't kept pace with this urban explosion. For every skyscraper or luxury apartment complex that goes up, there are thousands who can't afford even a tiny room. So where do they go? They create informal settlements, aka slums. It's not ideal, but it's a roof over their heads, sort of. Population growth is another big piece of the puzzle. India's already massive population keeps growing, and cities bear the brunt of it. Urban planners are like people trying to fix a leaking boat with duct tape. The result? Slums keep spreading, filling up every nook and cranny of urban land. Then there's the employment factor. Cities attract people with the promise of jobs, but they're not always formal or stable. The informal economy, street vendors, construction workers, domestic helpers, offers low-paying jobs with little security. Without enough income, decent housing is out of reach. Now let's talk about rural migration. Life in the villages isn't easy. Farming is hard work with low pay, and unpredictable weather can ruin everything. So, what do people do? They pack up and head to the cities, hoping for a better life. But, plot twist, cities aren't exactly rolling out the red carpet. When migrants arrive, they quickly realize city life isn't all it's cracked up to be. Finding a job is tough, and even if they do, it's usually in the informal sector. Think street vending, construction work, or domestic help. These jobs don't pay much, and guess what? Housing in cities is ridiculously expensive. So, what's the solution? Slums. They're close to job opportunities, and they're cheap. Of course, cheap comes with its own set of problems: no running water, no proper sewage, and little to no safety. But for millions of people, it's better than nothing. What's even harder is breaking out of this cycle. Without access to education, healthcare, or decent-paying jobs, many slum dwellers are stuck. It's a tough reality that underscores how much work needs to be done. Add to this the social networks in slums. For newcomers, these communities often offer some level of support, whether it's a shared meal, job leads, or just someone to talk to. This network makes slums not just a necessity but a survival mechanism. Here's where things get tricky. Indian cities are designed more for the wealthy than for the everyday worker. High-end real estate projects dominate urban landscapes, while affordable housing gets sidelined. Why? Because developers make more money selling luxury apartments than building homes for the poor. And then there's the issue of land. Urban land is limited and expensive, thanks to speculative real estate markets. The poor are often pushed to the fringes, forced to settle on land no one else wants, like near garbage dumps or railway tracks. Not exactly prime real estate, right? Government policies have tried to help, but let's be honest, they've mostly fallen short. Schemes like the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana aim to provide affordable housing, but they're often riddled with inefficiencies. Corruption, red tape, and lack of funding mean that these programs rarely deliver on their promises. The result? Slums keep growing, and the housing crisis gets worse. It's like trying to put out a forest fire with a garden hose. We need bigger, bolder solutions. Alright, let's zoom out for a second. Why do slums keep growing? First, there's the sheer demand for cheap housing. Cities don't have enough affordable homes, and slums fill that gap. Second, once slums are established, they're hard to get rid of. People build communities, raise families, and even start small businesses there. It's not just a place to live, it's their entire world. Another reason is political. Politicians often see slums as vote banks. During elections, promises are made to improve slum conditions or regularize them, but once the votes are counted, those promises often evaporate. It's a cycle that benefits politicians more than the people they're supposed to serve. And then there's the legal mess. Many slums are built on land without proper permissions, making them illegal in the eyes of the law. But evicting millions of people isn't exactly a PR-friendly move, so slums stay, half legal, half ignored. Now let's throw climate change into the mix. Rising sea levels and extreme weather events are displacing people from coastal and rural areas, forcing even more migration to cities. These new urban arrivals often end up in, you guessed it, slums. So, is there a way out? The short answer is yes, but it's going to take a lot of effort. First, cities need better urban planning. Instead of focusing only on luxury projects, planners need to think about everyone, especially the working class. Affordable housing should be a priority, not an afterthought. Second, let's improve rural areas. If people had better job opportunities and living conditions in villages, fewer would migrate to cities. Programs like rural skill development and better agricultural practices could make a huge difference. Finally, slum upgrading is crucial. Instead of demolishing these communities, governments could invest in improving them. Better sanitation, clean water, healthcare, and education can transform slums into livable neighborhoods. It's not just about housing, it's about giving people a chance at a better life. Public-private partnerships could also help. By working together, governments and private companies can pool resources and expertise to tackle the housing crisis more effectively. Believe it or not, there are examples of slum improvement projects that worked. Take the Dharavi redevelopment project in Mumbai. While it's far from perfect, it's shown how slums can be transformed into better living spaces without uprooting entire communities. International examples, like slum upgrading in Brazil's favelas, also offer lessons. These projects focused on improving infrastructure and providing basic services, proving that change is possible when there's political will and community involvement. Education is another game changer. Nonprofits and local organizations working in slums are empowering residents with skills and knowledge to improve their lives. It's a slow process, but it's a step in the right direction. And there you have it, folks. The story of India's slums is a complex mix of ambition, neglect, and resilience. While the challenges are huge, the solutions are within reach if we're willing to think big and act boldly. So, the next time you hear about slums, remember, behind every statistic is a person with dreams, struggles, and hopes for a better future. If you've been enjoying the content and finding it helpful or interesting, I'd love to have you join our community by subscribing to the channel. It's completely free and helps the channel grow so I can keep bringing you even more awesome content. No pressure, but your support means the world to me. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you.